Welcome to the Outdoor Oasis Podcast, where we interview outdoor living professionals and help homeowners become better buyers of outdoor living spaces. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and follow us on Instagram at @GetYourOutdoorOasis. Let's get into today's episode. It is the Outdoor Oasis Podcast. Let's have some fun today with my guest, Harry Melendez from Magic Bubbles. Harry, thanks for coming out, bro.
Thank you for the invite, Dave.
Appreciate you taking some time. So Harry is a guy that I've been working with a lot here. He's a pressure washer. And he's been part of my B&I group, and he's been one of my best partners, man. I mean, he's exactly the type of guy that I want to work with. You know, there's a lot of what we call like chuck in a truck type guys who can start, anybody can really start doing a pressure wash company. But, to do it good, to be reliable, to do quality work at fair prices, and really, be building up the type of clientele that he's doing, it's for a reason, because he does great work, and also customer service, man. He's great with the customers. Him and his son, man, they're talking with people. So I love working with him, and that's why I wanted to bring him on here and have him talk with you guys a little bit more about what he does. So with that being said, Harry, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people a little bit more about your background. He's got a great story and how he kind of got in the industry in Magic Bubbles.
Okay, thank you, Dave, once again for the invite to your podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I started Magic Bubbles like 2018. It's a company that's a franchise-based company. We're up to almost 9 owner-operators, and I got into this business because I like to work with customers. My background with customer service is I've come up from working with McDonald's as my first job and worked my way all the way to director, which led me to win the Ray Kroc Award, win a lot of awards of how I deal with customers. Yeah. In any industry that you go is how we please the customers. They pay us, we have to be there to make sure that all their needs are met, and that gives us the pleasure to keep serving other people. That's just a little bit of my background. In 2018, I bought into this franchise because I love to make sure that people love their homes, make sure they maintain them clean. And I've learned a lot in the past 8 years. And like I said, I carried over my knowledge from McDonald's of not burgers and fries, but how to treat people and have them, you treat them well, they'll call you back and they'll be coming back to you. And it has made me very successful in the past 8 years.
Exactly, man. And that's real, man. I mean, it comes through in how he treats customers and how he does his work. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the work ethic and what he's learned and brought into this business that he's doing. So that being said, this podcast, the main thing we're trying to do is to help homeowners become better buyers of our living spaces. And so I guess what I always start with that is like, if somebody's looking to do pressure washing, is there anything particular that you think they should be looking for in a company, or just anything specifically? All the different trades are different. I mean, pressure washing is pretty straightforward, but anything you want to talk about as far as that goes?
Yeah, I agree with you. When it comes to pressure washing, it is straightforward, but you have to know what you're doing. There's a lot of different materials out there. There's a lot of different types of homes that are not built the same, so you have to be careful how to pressure wash. People have a conception that you're going to go to the house and just going to blast, their house. We don't blast houses. Our type of pressure washing is consistently soft wash. Everything we do on the home is to protect the home and not damage it or cause any further deterioration of the home as we clean. So the conception of pressure wash, we do title it pressure wash because that's what people know about it. But what we 100% concentrate on is soft wash.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of materials, when it comes to paver cleaning and sealing, that's probably the main thing that, I work with Harry on. And so, a lot of people ask about the particular sand that we use when we're cleaning, sanding, and sealing. Now, a lot of times what people will do is they'll do research and they'll see, what should be included. And it is different for what we use in Florida as opposed to pretty much the rest of the country because of the climate that we have here. So Harry, go ahead and touch on that. What is the sand we use here? And
Well, that is correct. I always tell people when I go to their homes and I give them the facts about the sand, I say, don't take my word for it. Go to Trident.com, which is the product that we use, and they'll explain to you as to why polymeric sand is good, but it's not designed for Florida. They've come up with their own sand that is shore bond, that is like polymeric, but it's designed for Florida, and it works like polymeric, and it's also color matched. So they have all these colors to try to match the pavers. So you have a seamless look on your pavers when you get sealed. You don't have brown pavers with a layout of white sand that takes away from the pavers. I think that sand is a major factor when you do pavers because it gives it that aesthetic look on the pavers. Something that's brown has white lines doesn't look right? So Trident has offered 5 or 6 different colors that we talk to the customers, hey, what kind of color would you like? We lay it out and we use the proper sand. So when we seal it, it locks in that sand in the pavers and prevents any future growth of weeds, grass, and so forth.
Exactly. So attention to detail, that's awesome. And, customizing different colors.
Yes.
That's what we want to do to provide the best quality we can. So speaking of, the timetable, when somebody gets it done, we usually recommend they get it done right when it's installed. But then how often do they need to, or how often do you recommend that they do it to maintain it?
I would say to maintain it as far as cleaning or as far as sealing.
Both.
Okay, so as far as cleaning, you want to give it a couple of days, let them settle. The other paver company needs to come back and find out that they all are level. As the pavers are being laid, you're walking on them, so the underneath gravel and sand is settling in. So you're going to have pavers that are going to be shifting, and you want to make sure that those pavers are all even before you start sanding and sealing. The sealing process could be from a week to 2 weeks. It all depends on the weather that's outside, our nature. Everything takes into factor of how we seal the pavers.
Yeah. So, but after that initial one, then how often? Every couple of years or so after that? Or?
Yeah, sealing, if it's in an outdoor nature, sealing lasts about 2.5 years. You have a lot of companies that are guaranteed you 3-4 years. They could last that, but if it's covered, it's not getting hit by the sun 16 hours a day. You're not driving on it. So everything how you treat the pavers is going to extend the life of the paver, right? Of how the seal on the paver. So they do last longer, but it's all how the paver is treated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And then as far as do you use, we use water-based, right? Is it water-based?
Yes.
Yep.
Water-based sealer is recommended for Florida. The higher the sheen, the more it's prone to fail. They look beautiful. I've gone to jobs where I've shown you, Dave, that they seal it very high glossy, and it has that nice aesthetic look for a couple of months. But the moisture in Florida starts changing the color into what's called a ghost white look on the paver, and customers start noticing that this, instead of looking brown, is looking white everywhere. That could be that the sealer failed, or that the moisture has prone through the pavers and it has changed the aesthetic of the sealer itself, when it becomes more expensive. Because now you got to go back, you got to strip that up, and then bring it back to the natural color. I've showed you pictures where it costs more to strip it, sand and seal it, versus every 2.5 years, do the right procedure, clean, sand and seal.
Correct, yeah. Speaking of pictures, if you haven't seen, because a lot of people like myself are coming from up north and they haven't really experienced it too much, but man, the before and afters with what he does, if you're moving into a new place that has pavers and haven't been sealed a lot, it makes a big difference. It looks like, he can make them look almost brand new. So anything else you want to add about the paver and sealing, paver cleaning and sealing?
Well, any recommendation, like I spoke to you, Dave, and to inform your customers, when you guys have any pavers or you install any pavers, it becomes a task to maintain the pavers, right? You don't want to put any kind of metal on top of it that drips rust. You don't want it, anytime that your fertilizing company is going around fertilizing the plants, it lands in your pavers, it gives you rust. Pavers are very delicate. Anything that falls on them will stain them. So always keep an eye out. I always tell people, get a little bottle of Goof rust remover. The minute you see a little stain, clean it off. Don't let it sit on the paver. Always have Dawn with degreaser.
Yeah.
So if you have a customer or a family member that comes over, they don't know their car's leaking oil, they back up, now you have an oil stain, you want to treat that right away and then get us as a pressure washing company to get that cleaned up. But the first thing you want to do is take that Dawn soap with degreaser, start breaking it down so the paver does not absorb that oil. So pavers they're beautiful, but you have to stay on top of them because they cost a lot of money and to maintain them.
Right. So worst case, like I said, that's ideally what you want to do. If you have a situation where it's been there years and you're not going to be able to pressure wash it out, we can always come in and, do some paver repairs or replace them, if you have some extras, or we can order other ones if need be. So that being said, the other thing is pool cages. We work with a lot of screen enclosures, and man, sometimes, customers are going in between about whether I should get a new one or get new metal or just, paint it or whatever. Have him pressure wash it for somebody, because I'm telling you the difference that he can make them look brand new. I was really amazed when we first started doing some jobs at how much better it looks when he pressure washes the cages. So anything you want to add about?
Yeah, people have a conception that cages can't get pressure washed. one customer asked me if I use a brush to clean them. The problem with Florida is the mold buildup. The more mold you let it build up on your cage, the more it's going to deteriorate the screen, it's going to deteriorate the frame. I've seen cages where the mold is so bad that it'll take like a mold and it'll turn into a flower and it will expand and make a hole on it. So the minute you see your screen getting green, you want to get that clean. You don't want to have people outside breathing that in. Mold do get you sick. So like I said, before you decide that you think you need to change the screens, get it clean. They will recommend you get it clean first, and they will let you know to save you guys money. Hey, yeah, you need to change some screens, or these are the next steps you want to take if you want this to make it look better. But he'll recommend us to clean it first to determine what will be the next step.
Correct, especially the white ones. Man, if you got white and it's showing all that dirt. But yeah, the bronze ones, I mean, if you've had them for, maybe 5 years, but especially 10 years or more, the weather, the sun beating down on them, and, we can pressure wash them and then, possibly look at painting them as well. And then that'll make, you don't have to get a whole brand new one. So those are some options there that Harry helps out with. So,
and I want to add to that too, to the brown ones.
Yeah.
When people look at the frame, right? That when the sun is hitting the light, it starts changing the color of the frame. Yeah. So if your sun is coming up north in the morning more, you're gonna see there's like a light brown or like a faded brown, and the other side of the frame is gonna look darker. Yeah. So that would be an idea. Hey, we're doing pavers. We need to paint the cage because the sun so long hitting the frame changes the color on the frame of the cage. Yeah,
for sure. All right, man. Well, I think that's a good amount to cover, as far as what I specifically do. If there's anything else you want to add as far as, services you do to pressure wash the house or anything else, or anything else?
Yeah. So, like I said, I've owned Magic Bubbles for 8 years. We have a membership plan that is modified to your needs. Every house I go to, we do soft wash roofing, we do cages, we do house washes, we do driveways, we do community work. But our main focus is establishing a relationship with our customers. And the best way to do that is I have members that have been with me since day one. I know their pet peeves. I know they like to get clean. And these are customers that don't want to spend 8 hours a day trying to clean a cage when we can go in 1 day in 2.5 hours and get your home completely clean. I have members that are, hey, the summer's coming. I want my house ready for the summer. Or the holidays are coming. I want my house ready for the holidays. And they fall into a membership program. If you have any questions or any information you want, you can always go to Magic Bubbles Wash Tampa. The membership program is explained there. And once you join the membership program, you do save 40% on the visits because it's more frequent and now it's a maintenance program versus, hey, now you got an HOA letter because you got mold in your roof or your house. We maintain your property so you spend time with your family.
Amen. That's awesome. Cool. So you gave them the website. Anything else you want to tell them about where to follow you on social media?
So I got social media, Facebook, Magic Bubbles Wash Tampa. And you can find me on Google. Right now, that's all the social medias I have.
Awesome, man. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that does it, man. We appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah. See you later.